Before we start our first Algebra 1 lesson, let's check out some important vocabularies. Number 1, we have constant. Constant is just any number. It could be positive number or it could have negative numbers, fractions, decimals, any forms of number, we call it constant. For example, we could have 3, positive number, -2. Negative number, fraction 1/3, or decimal 0.5. All of these numbers are examples of constant. Number 2, variable. Variable is a symbol, usually letter, that represents the values. We often use x or y, sometimes a or b. We could use other letters as a variable. Okay, number 3, expression. Expression is a mathematical phrase that includes one or more constants or variables. For example, we could have 2x plus 3. Or we could have 3x minus 4y plus 1. These are examples of expression. Number 4, term. Term is a constant, a variable, or the product of number and one or more variables. Okay, for example, let's look at this expression right here. In this expression, 3x -4y plus 1 are considered terms. So this expression has 3 terms. If we look at this expression right here, 2x, 3. 2x and 3 are considered terms. So this expression has 2 terms. Okay? Number 5, coefficient. Coefficient is the constant factor of each term. Let's say in this expression right here, we have a term 2x, right? Constant 2 is multiplied to the variable x. So in this term right here, 2 is our coefficient. In this term right here, 3 is the coefficient. In this term right here, -4 is the coefficient. Okay? Number 6, expression in simplest form. An expression that has no like terms or parentheses is called the expression in simplest form. For example, let's say we have 2 times 3x minus x plus 5. Okay, these 2 terms right here, 3x and minus x right here, the variables are same, right? Then these 2 terms are called like terms. So we have to simplify this. And we have a parenthesis here, right? So this expression is not simplified, not in simplest form. Okay? If we simplify this, that's going to be 4x plus 10, and this is our simplest form. Okay? Okay, monomial is if the expression has one term, then we say that expression is monomial. For example, 3x is monomial, or the constant 4. This is monomial. Binomial, if we have 2 terms, then we say that expression is binomial. For example, 2x plus 3, or 4y minus 1. These are examples of a binomial. Trinomial. If the expression has 3 terms, then we say that that expression is trinomial. Let's say 3 terms. And for example, we could have 3x minus 4y plus 1. 3 terms, right? Or we could have x squared minus 4x plus 5. 3 terms, right? So these are examples of trinomial. Multiplication and division, part 1. When we multiply constant by monomial or monomial by constant, the first thing we have to do is we multiply numbers first and then write the number before the variable. So let's try this example right here. We have 3 times negative 4x. So first thing we have to do, we multiply numbers first. 3 times negative 4 and write the variable x. So that's going to be 3 times negative 4, that's going to be negative 12x. Right? Okay, here we have negative 4x times 3. Same thing, numbers first. Multiply negative 4 by 3 and then write the variable x. So negative 4 times 3, that's negative 12. So this is negative 12x. Number 2, we have monomial divided by constant. When we have a division, the first thing we have to do is we have to convert this division to multiplication. So let's say if we have A divided by B, convert this division to multiplication and write B as 1 over B, right? So let's try this example right here. We have negative 4x divided by 8. First thing we have to do, convert that division to multiplication and write 8 as 1 over 8, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to multiply numbers first. So negative 4 times 1 over 8 and then write the variable x. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, right? So that's going to be negative 1 times 1 over 2. That's negative 1 over 2x. Or we could write negative x over 2. Now let's try example 1. The question is to simplify the expression. For number 1, we have a 5 times 6x. So multiplication, numbers first. 5 times 6 and write the variable x. So 5 times 6 is 30, right? So that's going to be 30x. Number 2, we have a negative 4x times negative 9. So that is equal to, numbers first, negative 4 times negative 9 and write the variable x. So negative times negative, that's a positive, right? So that's going to be positive 4 times 9, 36x. Number 3, we have a division now. So first thing we got to do, we have to convert that division to multiplication, right? So that's going to be negative 12x multiplied by 1 over 4, right? Now it's multiplication, so we're going to multiply numbers first and then write the variable x. So 4 times 1, 4 times 3. So that's a negative 3 times 1, which is equal to negative 3, and we have x. Number 4, we have a 3 over 8x divided by negative 6. That's a division. So first thing we have to do, we're going to convert that division to multiplication and write negative 1 over 6, right? The 6 goes to denominator. So that's going to be numbers first, 3 over 8 times negative 1 over 6, and we have a variable x, right? 3 times 1, 3 times 2. So 1 over 8 times negative 1 over 2, that's negative 1 over 16, and we have a variable x. The question says to simplify the expression. For number 1, when we multiply a term with a variable x by a constant, the first thing we got to do is we multiply the numbers first and then write the variable x. So let's try this. So number 1 is equal to, we have a number 36 times a number negative 1 over 12, and then write the variable x. So let's simplify this. 36 times negative 1 over 12, we know that 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 3 is 36, right? So 3 times negative 1, that's negative 3, then write the variable x. So number 2, we have negative 2 times negative 13x. So that is equal to, numbers first, negative 2 times negative 13, and then write the variable x. So negative times negative gives you positive, right? So that's going to be positive 2 times 13, which is 26x. For number 3, when we have a division sign, the first thing we got to do is we got to convert this division to multiplication. Then this numerator and denominator, they switches, right? So let's try this. So that is equal to negative 25y times, we're going to switch these two numbers, 3 over 5, right? So that is equal to, we're going to multiply numbers first. Negative 25 times 3 over 5, we have the variable y. So 25 times 3 over 5, let's simplify this. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25, right? So that is equal to negative 5 times 3, that's negative 15, and we have a variable y. Number 4, here again we have a division sign, so we're going to convert that to multiplication. So that is equal to negative 28y times, we got to switch these two numbers, right? So negative 2 over 7. So we're going to multiply numbers first. Negative 28 times negative 2 over 7. Then write the variable y. So let's simplify this. 28, 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28, right? So negative 4 times negative 2, that's positive 8y.